Good evening, everyone. If you'd kindly take a seat, and we'll get our school board meeting started. I want to thank everyone for being here this evening, and now would you please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation. Introducing the members sitting around me, and beginning this evening with Connie Spire, who's just sitting down now. So welcome, Connie Spire, our agency clerk. Next to Ms. Spire is school board member Jamie Haynes, representing District 1. Next to Ms. Haynes, our vice chair, Ms. Ida Wright, representing District 2. Our school superintendent, Mr. Timothy P. Egner. Down my far left, your far right, school board member Linda Cuthbert from District 3. And I understand now there's Cuthbert Way or Cuthbert Bridge or Cuthbert Terrace or, yay, so that's important, yay, at New Smyrna Beach High School.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, a way to go. That's awesome.
And it's all Sarah Lee Morrissey's fault.
And it's all Sarah Lee Morrissey's fault. Okay, we'll get that on the record. And next to Ms. Cuthbert, we have school board member from District 5, Mr. Ruben Colon. And glad to have you. And our school board attorney, Mr. Ted Doran. My name is Carl Persis. I'm from District 4 and serving as the chair this year. Once again, good evening, everyone. Items for approval on this agenda are 1.03, 2.02, 4.01 through 4.03, 6.02, 7.01, 19.01, 19.02, 20.02, 21.02, and 23.01. Public participation times. Well, you can participate on all of our action items, also items on the consent agenda. We'll have a time certain right around 6:30 p.m. Open up a 15-minute window for any item of general interest. Perhaps that would mean items that we're not going to be voting on this evening. You can speak to those items just before we vote. Also, there will be time provided for public comment on any action item. I said that. And also time provided at the end of the meeting if you would like to comment on any item of general educational interest. Our district vision statement is to ensure that all of our students graduate with a superior 21st century education. And school board members, from time to time, we like to get out and visit schools and see what's going on. And we open up this time at each board meeting to, I ask if school board members would like to share anything that they may have seen since we last met, and I'll open it up to Ms. Cuthbert, other than your bridge being named after you, Ms. Cuthbert.
Steps.
Yes, okay.
Set of steps. It was wonderful to be at Sweetwater Elementary yesterday morning, celebrating their 25th anniversary. 25 years ago, they incorporated. The first principal was there, Pat Evans, along with Gary Marks, who looks fabulous, was the first assistant principal. They do have a teacher on campus who was sitting in the student body when it opened. So, and they've opened up their time capsule, and they put more, they took things out. They're going to put it on display in their media center, and they're going to put current items for today into that time capsule. So when I'm 92, they will bring out another, of course, I won't tell you how many years that is, but another time capsule. So at their 50th anniversary, they will be able to open it up and celebrate again. Nice. And so we were challenging all the students sitting there through the ceremony, where will they be in 25 years? When they heard that they could very easily be in their 30s, they thought, oh my gosh, what has happened to them? And I'm also, old. Yes. Thank you to Futures, who funded our many grants celebration. Many teachers received many grants last night at Mainland. My husband and I sponsored 2 of the grants, and we were very proud to do that. And also the Tomorrow's leaders, the juniors, were indoctrinated
Indoctrinated. Well, maybe a little of that too.
They were, I guess.
Inducted?
There you go. Inducted last week. And then the hardest work I have ever done, and I've proctored AP exams and SATs and have washed cars for PTAs, but the hardest work I've ever done was on the 16th, 17th, and 18th of this past month when I worked in 3 different schoolway cafes.
Oh.
Worked at Indian River Elementary, at Creekside Middle, and New Smyrna Middle. It's not serving the kids, that's the fun. It's the work in between. My goodness, the cleaning, getting everything ready, cleaning up, and then just making sure when that bell rings, the next group comes in. It's a lot of work. So here's a huge torch given out to all the Schoolway Cafe workers. They certainly earn their creds.
Yeah, they
certainly earn it.
certainly
So
do. Thank you for sharing those stories, Ms. Haynes. You have anything you'd like to talk about?
Well, I'll piggyback. I was at most of the events that Ms. Cuthbert was at also, and it was nice to see the juniors inducted. Nice to see all the grants. I think Deltona, Rubens District, has to take the award, I think, for having the most grants funded at last night's thing for his schools, because every time we turned around, there was another Deltona school that went up there for a grant. I've also been out starting to hand out the new teacher pens, because I have over 200 and some in District 1 to hand out. And it's such an honor, but I will tell you, and the thing is, if any of them are listening and I haven't been there yet, which that's still a lot of schools, I have asked each one to make a commitment when I've handed them the pen. I've asked them that they would commit to working for Volusia County Schools as long as I have. And and it's really neat, because some of them say, oh yes, automatically, without even thinking about the time. Others have looked at me and said, well, wait a minute, how long have you been here? And there was a paraprofessional who looked at me, and she was one of the ones that was smart and said, how long have you been here? And I said, this is my 33rd year. And she said, I'd be in my 80s. And so I said, well, how about we split the difference? And she said, well, that maybe I could do. But it's really nice. And I will also agree with Mrs. Cuthbert that what goes on in Schoolway Cafe, and even the assistants that work out there, and they clean those lunch tables and collect all that trash and keep some calm and peace while the kids are eating. It's amazing what all those men and women do, and without them, we could not do what we need to do, because they're there making sure that the kids eat. And so it's been interesting, but I do want to say thank you to HR, because I needed additional pens, and I'm here tonight, and they have made sure that I've got them. So
Thank you, Ms. Haynes. Mr. Colon?
All right, so I too, since you all just took all the thunder, but that's okay, I will reiterate. I had the pleasure of visiting 4 schools. I did Deltona Middle, Timbercrest, Galaxy, and Spirit for lunch, and I will echo that it is the fastest 2 hours of your life. You look up and it's just gone. I want to say thank you to Schoolway Cafe. They actually got me my own chef's coat. And so I thought, yes. And so I thought I was really cool while at Deltona High. I said, when my niece walks in here, she's going to think I'm the coolest uncle ever. But I didn't get that pleasure. She never made it through my line. So I got to call her and said, hey, where are you? And she says, I'm in the spill out area. So I'm thinking I am cool as can be. Walking over with my chef's coat on, and she says, you look like the cafeteria lady. So, again, new appreciation, and just like everybody else, I'm very grateful for our cafeteria folks and the hard work that they do. It is, without question, from wiping down the tables to helping keep order. No doubt about the fact that it's hard work. We also had the Tomorrow's Leaders. That was awesome. At Heritage Middle School, we had a job fair. Now, this is a 2nd annual job fair that they've done for their parents, and they get somewhere around 20 different businesses to come out, and they were hiring on the spot, including my own employer was there as well. And Osteen Storybook Festival, 25th annual. let me tell you something. Those folks take this seriously. I mean, these costumes that these parents helped create were amazing. And of course, they were all accompanied by a book, so that was just amazing. And some of those costumes were out of this world. So it's been a busy week, but on we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Cologne. Mr. Wright, anything you want to?
I'll say ditto. Speedway Cafe, it is, but it's fun. But I got a chance to visit all 192 so far. The only school I have not visited was Silver Sands Middle School, but to do my welcome wagon, so I've been able to meet all the new faculty and staff, and most of the schools had 100% of the faculty there, which was a plus.
Yeah.
So that is a major plus. Got a chance to talk to a couple of them one-on-one. All of them seem to be very happy. They're adjusting well. And the only other thing I will put in is for futures. First of all, we want to say thank you to Mr. Doran. Mr. Doran is one of the founders of Futures.
Yes.
He and some others actually found our Futures board. And often I hear, about us getting paid and what we get paid. But I like to say, like Mr. Doran, a lot of our money go back to Futures. Almost half of my salary goes to Futures for giving awards, teacher appreciation, and then some of the other organizations we have, UNCF. And so I want to thank my colleagues. If you do not contribute to Futures or some of the other funding opportunities, please do, because every penny counts, and it really does help our students and our teachers. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I too have had a lot of fun going to schools and pinning the new employees. That's always great. Get to talk to them a little bit about where they're from and what brought them here. That's always interesting. Had a great time at Osceola Elementary School, where they introduced our pilot program for the biodegradable lunch trays that were rolling out there. So that was very exciting, and just little by little getting students to understand why it's so important to reduce our use of single-use plastic products. And so rather than having the old tray with the styrofoam bowl that you put the food in, the bowls and other styrofoam products, you can put the food right on the tray, which eliminates that other styrene item, rather than get that little sleeve with the spork and the straw and the napkin and that little cellophane thing. They don't hand those out anymore. If a student needs a straw, there's a self-dispense straw or a napkin or a fork. So it's just, getting that mindset, only take what you're going to use, do not waste, and the kids just love it. Of course, kids just love being first, but I'm sure we're going to see this spread. So I want to thank all the folks that are on board with that. A lot of great things going on in our Volusia County schools. Just have to commend all of our teachers and staff each and every day. Everyone's working so hard, principals, assistant principals, everybody out there. Everybody's, you go into schools and it's just great to see smiles on the faces and people just happy, just doing what they do. So I want to just thank all of our employees once again. We're moving on to item 1.03. Board members have received minutes for the September 4th, 2019 regular session, the October 8th, 2019 work session, the October 8th, 2019 regular session, and the October 15th, 2019 special session. Board members, are there any changes, additions, deletions to any of those minutes? And seeing none, we will stand those minutes as, record those minutes as approved as they were sent out to each of us. Our next item is 2.01, agenda changes. And Mr. Egner, I understand we have 3.
Yes, I do. I have 3 changes, one of which I want to apologize in advance for because I'm embarrassed by it. It's the kind of change I never like to see happen. And I also want to thank Mr. Cologne for bringing it to my attention. Otherwise, we might have missed it entirely. and that is a request to add an emergency item to the consent agenda as item 8.05, Deltona Middle School field trip to Moultrie, Georgia, to attend Sunbelt Agricultural Expo. This field trip already took place October 15th through the 17th and was omitted from your approval, which is a huge mistake, and I'm very sorry that that happened. This item was lost in the mail and received too late at the district office to add to the October 8th school board agenda. So really, you're approving something retroactively, which I know you are loath to do, and I'm loath to ask you to. The second item is 13.03, approval of a settlement, and I am pulling that for further review. Mr. Manning is not here today. He's out of district, and I had some questions about it, which I could not get adequately answered. So I'm not comfortable asking you to approve something I don't fully understand. So I would ask that we pull that for further review. And item 21.01, adoption of the proposed amendments to the school board policy 307, which is the student progression plan. You have had that workshop, and you've also had it presented. However, there was one sentence in it that was not corrected. And fortunately, Dr. Hall found that we had not corrected that single sentence. So we're going to ask to pull that so we can correct it and bring that back to you December 10th. It's not a material change, but we did say we were going to change something as a response to our presentation, and we forgot to do it. So we've got to hold off and wait till December.
And the reason why we have to wait till December is because we have to advertise it for 30 days.
30 days.
So if you're wondering how come we're waiting so long. So you've heard, yes, Ms. Wright.
Will we have any repercussions for not submitting our progression plan before? Is it a deadline?
No, we will not have any repercussions for that other than, you tend to operate on the plan that you have until the new one's approved, with the exception of items that were state statute, which you had to implement whether you changed your plan or not.
All righty, thank you. Thank you for the question. Any other questions? Seeing none, then do I have a motion to approve the agenda with the changes as stated by Superintendent Egner?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the amended agenda.
Thank you. Do I have a second to that?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Cologne. Any other questions? So just so we get the record right, we are adding consent agenda item 8.05. We are deleting items 21.01 and 13.03.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
And I want to thank my colleagues because I know that field trip came at a very last moment, and I appreciate everyone considering that and at least hearing it out before so that it could wait to come till today and be presented. So thank you.
Absolutely. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and those opposed, and the motion carries unanimously. We are now on item 3.01. This is recognition time here. Recognition of Atlantic High School for the 2019 Family and Community Involvement Award, and we have special people coming forward here, big smiles on their faces, and this is nice. Just kindly introduce yourselves and your titles so people know on the internet. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Persis, school board members, and Superintendent Egner. I'm Nancy Wade, and I am your facilitator for volunteer and partnership programs. And with me is Rachel Rutledge, who is the coordinator for career and technical education. And in February, you might remember that we came forward to present district winners of the Family and Community Involvement Award. And the purpose of this award is to promote and recognize innovative school practices that increase family and community involvement. Volusia's nominees were submitted to FDOE and for consideration at the state level, and we're proud to announce that Atlantic High won for their Academies of Atlantic Advisory Boards.
Whoa, yay, very nice.
so proud of Atlantic High School and the work that they're doing with their career academies. They had 2 gold career academies this past year. They have over 1,300 enrollments in their career and technical education program, and that's a duplicated number,
Sure.
but a wonderful presence of CTE on their campus. And they have 2 unique academies that are not featured anywhere else in the district, the digital audio production and aeronautics. We're very pleased with the work that they're doing. I'd like to turn it over to Miss Stacy Bell. She's here representing Atlantic today to talk a little bit about their advisory boards that they have in place and introduce the members who are here.
So Stacy Bell. Good evening.
School board members.
If you
and
just take that
Superintendent
microphone, just pull it, there you go, pull it toward you a
Good
little bit.
evening. I am Althea Thompson. I am the ESC Assistant Principal at Atlantic High School. In the absence of our principal, Stephen Henson, we want to thank you for recognizing us receiving this award from the Florida Department of Education. I would like to introduce our Teacher of the Year, as well as our Academy Director of Atlantic High School, to share more about our academies.
That's funny. Thank you. I just wanted to thank you all for letting us be here today, and really just wanted to recognize the over 50 business partners, parents, and community members that are a part of these advisory boards. I believe we have a few present today, if anyone could stand. Emily Lucia from Rising Stars Academy, which is a...
Please stand when your name, there you are, there you are. Yay.
She is with the Rising Stars Academy Preschool in Daytona Beach, and she's been a wonderful member of our teaching academy, the Teal Academy as we call it. And Aaron Swihart.
Aaron, yes, he's here. Yay.
He's the assistant chair and assistant professor of music production technology and one of our advisory board members for our On-Stage Academy.
Nice.
We really appreciate them being here, but they really represent so many more organizations, from the Marine Science Center and Yupon Brothers T to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University and so many others. So we're just really proud, and we'll be passing this around at all of our next advisory board meetings so that everyone could get a look at it and be appreciated. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Are you the Teacher of the Year?
I am
You
the
are.
Teacher
Well,
of the
I
Year
can
for
see
Atlantic
why.
High
Well,
School.
that deserves congratulations.
Very honored. Thank you. We really have an awesome staff at Atlantic High School, and so I was really shocked, but very honored. Thank you.
Well, you are part of that awesome staff. That is for sure. Yes, Miss Wade, did you want to add something?
I just want to present the trophy when you're ready.
Yeah. Miss Cuthbert had a question.
I also want to say thank you because you're on the Port Orange South Daytona Chamber of Commerce, and we've been working together a great deal because she brings the information from Atlantic and their causes and all the information about the students, whether they're homeless, academy students, academic, lower performing, social and economic in trouble. So it's wonderful to have your presence on that committee.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's
Yeah, the
really
Chamber
a
of
pleasure.
Commerce has been a great way for us to also get advisory board members, so
Yeah.
it really
Certainly
works across the board.
Perfect. That's an
you.
excellent partnership. Thank
Yeah.
you for bringing that up, Miss Cuthbert. Yes. Miss Wade.
On behalf of the Volusia County School Board, I'd like to present this crystal trophy from the Florida Department of Education honoring Atlantic High School for the Academies of Atlantic Advisory Board.
Whoa, so nice. Yeah.
Thank you. We will pass this along to all of our 9 academies.
Okay.
If I might, I would like to say that I was invited to Atlantic to a tailgate party
Yes,
prior to one of their football games, and I had the great honor of being seated with Stacy and kind of bombing their pictures that were being taken. But what they say about the Atlantic faculty and the Atlantic community being a family, it felt like a family at that event, and so thank you for contributing to that atmosphere.
Thank you.
Thank you again. And if we could just take a 3-minute recess, and we'd like to get a photo. And with any of the other folks from Atlantic High School that'd like to join us for the photo.
And our business partners, please.
Our
if they
business
could.
partners, anyone, would love to have you in the photo. I think we're going to just do it right out here.
Yes, probably do. You're right. When there's that many, you know what I'm saying? We probably need to really get a true number. We probably should.
All right, we have a resolution.
We did.
Who's going to do this one? Troy Radford?
Yes.
All right, thank you for that. Our next item is 4.01, recognizing November 11th through the 15th is National School Psychology Awareness Week. All right, and we have two more presenters coming forward, and please introduce yourselves and give us your title. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much. I'm Amy Hall. I'm your Director of Student Government Relations. So good evening, Chairman Persis, members of the board, Mr. Egner. We're delighted to bring to you today a resolution to proclaim National School Psychological Services Week. And Troy Radford, who is our coordinator of School Psychological Services, which is a mouthful, is here today to present some information about the amazing work that our school psychologists do on a daily basis.
All right, Mr. Radford, hello.
Hi, how are you? Thank you. It's my pleasure to be before you to ask to recognize the resolution of November 11th through 15th as National School Psychology Awareness Week. I've been before you pretty much once a year doing this and telling you a quick synopsis of what school psychologists do. I have a video this year. It is both shorter and more entertaining than I would have been.
All right, so
Oh, I think Mr. Cicchetti's doing it.
there we go.
hope that was a little more entertaining than I would have been. We do all those things that were listed there. I also gave you each a card with a few little quick facts about our specific department to take with you. And I just respectfully request that you approve the resolution to proclaim the week of November 11th through the 15th as School Psychology Awareness Week. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? All righty, so we need a motion on this one to approve?
Mr. Chair, approve.
Well, go ahead.
I was about to.
You have a recommendation.
You get ahead of me, sir.
Recommendation.
The superintendent recommends approval of the resolution 2019-40, recognizing November 11 through 15, 2019 as National School Psychology Awareness Week.
Thank you, Mr. Egner. Now, Ms. Wright.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve resolution 2019-40.
Thank you so much. And a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Haynes. Okay, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, and the motion carries, and we thank you. Thank you so much, and we thank all of the school psychologists out there, because I know they have a heavy caseload, and everyone wants their student tested yesterday.
Yes.
So I get it loud and clear. So
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You play a very important role.
Thank you.
Thank you. And our next item is item 4.03, and this is a resolution recognizing the month of November 2019 as Native American Heritage Month.
Yep.
And it's 4.03, and I skipped 4.02.
Do you want us to?
Can we go back to 4.02 since Amy is sitting here? Let's go back. I'm sorry, the chair is just pushing this meeting right along. Resolution, this is recognizing October as Bullying Prevention Month. We certainly don't want to skip that. So.
We definitely don't.
Okay.
So good evening. I'm still Amy Hall, your
Yes,
coordinator,
you still are.
director of
Thank
Student
goodness.
Government Relations. Thank you again for being able to present this proclamation to you. This is something that we continue to work on within our schools, our school counselors, all of our student services professionals. Really want to make sure that all of our students feel safe and welcomed in all of our schools. So today I have with me our specialist for 6 through 12 school counseling, Abico Rayner, and she's going to present some information on this topic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening, chairpersons, Percy's, school board members, and Superintendent Egner. Bullying has devastating effects on our students, including school avoidance, loss of self-esteem, increased anxiety, and depression. Nationwide, between 1 in 4 and 1 in 3 students in the U.S. say they have been bullied at school. Approximately 30% of our young people admit to bullying others. 71% of young people say they have seen bullying in their school. 70% of staff have seen bullying, and 62 have witnessed bullying 2 or more times in the last month, and 41 have witnessed it once in the past week or more. When bystanders intervene, bullying stops within 10 seconds, 57% of the time. Our LGBTQ students have an increased likelihood of being bullied by nearly 20%. Our entire school community plays a vital role in bullying prevention and creating a school culture of self-efficacy and respect. This month and throughout the year, our stakeholders wear orange to signify bullying awareness. Our teachers and school counselors teach our students how to be upstanders. Our faculty and staff keep an open line of communication with students and parents, and our students witness adults at school modeling how to treat others with kindness and respect. While National Bullying Prevention Month is held in October, we would like to recognize the year-round efforts that our school and communities take to raise bullying awareness and prevention. I respectfully request that the board approve the proclamation recognizing the month of October as National Bullying Prevention Month.
Thank you. Mr. Superintendent.
The superintendent recommends approval of Resolution 2019-41, recognizing October 2019 as Bullying Prevention Month.
Thank you. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Cologne. And a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Wright. And any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. And those opposed, and the motion carries. Yes.
Thank you
guys.
very much.
You're welcome. And the next item is now 4.03. And who are our presenters? Oh, okay, Mr. Milholland. And are you a solo act tonight, Mr.?
Yes, if I knew I could bring
Okay.
somebody.
All right, good, good. Be kind enough to just say your name and your title before you begin.
My name is Robert Milholland. I am the Secondary Social Studies Specialist. Chairman Persis, board members, and Superintendent Egner. Native American Heritage Month is a celebration of the rich culture, traditions, histories, and contributions of Native Americans. November of each year also provides a perfect opportunity to increase the awareness of the challenges they have faced and the hard work, dedication, and sacrifices necessary to overcome these challenges. Native Americans from the Paleo and Archaic periods to the present day have left an indelible mark on our local history, the history of our great state of Florida, and our nation. With this resolution, we take time to recognize the history and culture of the state of Florida and the United States of America, as they are tied to the influence and contributions of Native Americans. We celebrate and respect the rich legacy of Native American customs and traditions through community celebrations, as well as cultural, artistic, education, and historical activities. It is with great honor that I present resolution number 2019-39, proclaiming the month of November 2019 as Native American Heritage Month for the School District of Volusia County.
Thank you, Mr. Milholland. Mr. Superintendent?
The superintendent recommends approval of Resolution 2019-42, recognizing the month of November 2019 as Native American Heritage Month.
Thank you. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I am pleased and very honored to request the approval of November being National Native American Month.
Thank you, Ms. Cuthbert. And a second, Mr. Cologne?
Second.
Ms. Haynes? Thank you. Any, yes, a comment, Ms. Cuthbert?
We have not been doing this proclamation for a very long time. When I was first elected, one of my constituents brought this to our attention, that we did other ethnic groups, but not Native Americans. And so between our conversation, we decided November would be the perfect month because we do celebrate Thanksgiving. And I thank Mr. Milholland and the district for letting this happen. I think this is our third or fourth year of doing this.
Yeah.
Because this is something I don't know if any other districts do, but we do.
Well, good
To
for us.
honor our Native Americans. Because after all, we are home to St. Augustine, right?
Yes.
And when you have Western civilization moving in to the state of Florida, the natives here, had quite an impact. So, and also at New Smyrna Beach as well,
Yes.
with their fort. So, thank you very much for continuing this privilege.
Thank you. So we have a motion. We had a second. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. And those opposed, and the motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Milholland. Well done. Is there any cards on the consent agenda? All right. Is there anybody would like to remove any item from the consent agenda other than the ones that we did already? And we did add an item to the consent agenda. So do I have your approval of the consent agenda items?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda items as amended.
Thank you, sir. And a second?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Wright. All those in favor? What?
I
Yes.
have a question
Yes.
just for clarification.
Sure.
And I apologize, I didn't call
No, it's
and
all right.
ask ahead of time. 8.03, the contract with Pasco County Schools.
Hang on one second, Ms. Cuthbert. Yes, okay.
Interdistrict
8.03.
It says that we have to do something because of state standards? I didn't
This
know.
is a reference to the virtual education and a contract we have to have with another provider. Rachel, would you like to offer any other clarification?
Yeah, I saw where we have to give them our FTE.
Yeah.
If they are utilized.
Oh, okay.
That's
Please.
correct. There's not much to add to that other than it does have to do with our virtual school program.
In other words, all the virtual education legislation states that a single district has to have multiple providers.
Right.
Oh,
And
okay.
so we contract some people may contract with us, we may contract with them in another county, just so everybody meets the contractual obligation of the law. They may offer something we don't offer, and so the student would take the course through them virtually, and that, yes, they would get the FTE for that, and vice versa would also be true if we have a contract with another district.
But just for those courses.
Okay, so the contract is just with them, they're not with us. So Pasco County students would be signing on to our virtual, it's just our students are available to their virtual school?
Not as it pertains to this contract. We may have a contract with them. I'm not sure who all the counties that we reciprocate with, but not as it pertains to this contract.
Okay,
It's
so no
simply
reciprocation. Okay, thank you. I appreciate the clarification.
You're welcome. Any other questions? All right, we had a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. And those opposed, and the motion carries unanimously. Any board member would like to make a comment about any item we just approved on the consent agenda? All right, then moving on, we are now on item 15.01, superintendent's announcements.
Yes, I have a few. The superintendent's search finalist interviews will take place Thursday, November 7th, 2019 at 10 a.m. Search finalist community reception is Thursday, November 7th, 6 p.m. at Sanborn Activity Center, 815 South Alabama Avenue, DeLand, Florida. Veterans Day, holiday, Monday, November 11th. All schools and district offices will be closed. School board work session, Tuesday, November 12th, 2019, 10 a.m. at the board room, district complex here. And the next regular school board meeting, Tuesday, November 12th, 2019 at 3:30 p.m. in the boardroom, district administrative complex.
Looks like a busy couple of weeks coming up here. And the next item is superintendent's presentations. District update. Best.
The background, the Best and Brightest program keeps getting tinkered with on an annual basis by the legislature. And as a result of that, it's one of those things where the rules change every year. So you might be a teacher who received Best and Brightest one year, and then the next year you don't qualify. And this is very difficult for us to explain. It's also, I'm sure, very difficult for VIEW and other groups who are associated and care about this process to explain. And so to help clarify that for you, since you may get questions, comments, or concerns, I've asked Ms. McKinney to give you a quick overview. Thank you so much.
Kimberly McKinney, Coordinator of Recruitment and Retention, HR. Good evening, Chairman Persis, members of the board, and Superintendent Egner. As Mr. Egner stated, we have had quite a bit of interest and questions about the Best and Brightest, so we wanted to provide some information for you this evening. This year, there are 4 available awards: a retention award, a principal award, recruitment award, and a recognition award. The retention award is eligible to classroom teachers as defined by Florida statute, and we have been working through the language of the statute with members of VIEW. The teachers also have to be effective or highly effective the preceding year, which would of course have been 2018-2019, and they had to have taught in a school for 2 consecutive years, including the current year, which has improved an average of 3 percentage points or more in the percentage of total possible points. The state has identified those schools and provided the list for us. Volusia County has 25 schools on that list, 17 elementary, 2 middle schools, 4 high schools, and 2 charter schools. The retention award for this year is $2,500 for highly effective teachers and $1,000 for effective teachers. And of course, the district is authorized to prorate the awards if funds allocated are insufficient to cover the awards. The principal award eligibility. Principals must have served at his or her school for 4 consecutive years, including the current school year, so that would be 2016 through 2020. The schools must have improved, again, an average of 3 percentage points or more in the percentage of total possible points. Again, the same list that was provided for the retention award goes for the principal award. The principal amount this year is $5,000. The next available award is the recruitment award. Now, this is for newly hired classroom teachers. This includes teachers new to teaching, new to the state of Florida, and new to Volusia County. So those are really a large percentage of our Category 1 teachers. Now, they must be content experts in specific subjects, and those subjects are math, science, computer science, reading, or civics. How do you define content expert? A person who has sufficient subject area expertise as set forth in Rule 6A1.0503, definition of qualified instructional personnel. For math, science, computer science, a person who has either a master's degree in one of those subjects, excuse me, or a bachelor's degree in the areas listed above from an institution accredited by the U.S. Department of Education, and at least 5 years of teaching experience or work experience in the associated subject areas. For reading, a person who has either, again, earned a master's degree in English, English literature, reading, or literacy instruction, or a bachelor's degree in the same subjects and have 5 years of teaching experience in language arts or reading. For civics, a master's degree in political science, American history, social studies, or social sciences, or a bachelor's degree in the areas listed above, and at least 5 years of teaching or work experience in the associated subject area. So the one-time recruitment award for this year is $4,000. Again, the district is able to prorate if there are insufficient funds to cover the awards. Category 1 teachers who believe they are eligible for this award will need to fill out a brief application/survey to provide proof of eligibility. A link to the application will be sent out shortly. We're still working on the language of that. They will also need to provide the proof of the work experience or eligibility. Okay, the recognition award eligibility. This one is for instructional personnel, so that can include and does include paraprofessionals, not just classroom teachers. The school board must establish performance criteria and policies for the award, which K-12 instructional personnel will receive. The proposed policy will soon be advertised and will then be brought before the board for approval. There's no set amount for the recognition award. The remaining funds, after all of the other rewards have been granted, is divided between all people who are eligible for this. And for more information on the best and brightest, I have the website listed.
Well, to say the least, it's complicated. And is a DOE, you said they were giving you the list of schools for that first award.
Yes, sir.
Do they provide any other assistance to help
No.
us? No.
No,
Well, that was a quick
they
answer.
have, at the website that I listed, there are FAQs that you can go and get some questions answered. I think the biggest area of difficulty, obviously, was defining classroom teacher. And the positions that are excluded, because that's very, very difficult, because all of our teachers work very, very hard. You know, it is K-12, so that means no pre-K teachers. Media teachers are excluded because they are defined in statute. So there were some questionable ones, and as I said, we met with you and have worked through the language of the statute and are doing our very best to, you know, absolutely apply the statute and also serve the teachers to the best of our ability.
Is there a deadline?
There is not. As last year, they had a deadline to apply. That is not the case this year. We need to get that policy before you for approval. I do want to get the link out for the recruitment award here very shortly so that we have time and the teachers have time to get the information that they will need to us so that we can look and verify. The state has already sent the funds to us. We were awarded $5.9 million for these awards. And then we hope to be able to get all awards out to the teachers after the new year.
Got it. And the order in which you presented the
Yes, sir.
awards, is that sort of the
Yes, sir.
the pecking order of?
Yes, sir, that is correct. The, the recognition, nope, that's not correct. The first one, now see, I've gotten flummoxed now. The retention was the first one. That has to be paid out first, then the principal, and then recruitment, and then recognition is last.
Got it, yeah. Mr. Superintendent, any other comments on this one?
No, only that I want to thank Kim for stepping up. She's doing a marvelous job managing the First Among Equals in HR, as well as trying to do her full-time job. So we've given her quite a burden while we wait to select our new chief of that department. So I just wanted to thank you publicly.
It's my pleasure.
And it appears like, let's say that, I don't know, we overlook somebody or they come in, since there's not a deadline per se, that person could still get their application in if we haven't run out of the money, I guess, by the time they get there.
Exactly, that's the problem. You know,
Yeah.
once the money is dispersed, it's dispersed and,
Sure.
and it's gone, essentially. But we will certainly, if we make an error, we will certainly do our very best to, to rectify the situation. But that's something that I would have to discuss with Deb Muller and
So I think
the powers that be.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I think you said between you and View, getting the word out to everybody.
Yes, sir.
It's,
And we'll blitzkrieg it when we get that survey done and make sure that everybody is well aware of it, and there will be ample time to get that done.
And I kind of missed my opportunity to be arrogant and bombastic, which I never like to miss an opportunity for that. But if you were asking my opinion about Best and Brightest,
Yes, sir.
I think it has so many inherent unfairnesses
Yes, sir.
and so many limitations that I wish they would just give us the $5 million and let us negotiate with View in a fair way to compensate teachers.
Yes, sir. I
And
agree
I
with you.
hope that this program disappears along with many of the other gimmicky programs that have been handed down.
yeah.
And I know that's not because I don't want to see teachers get money.
Oh, sure.
I just would prefer they get it in a fair way, and I would prefer it be negotiated.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you. Mr. Cologne had a
And
comment.
so, this is the first time we're seeing this today, and so I have quite a bit of questions. So maybe once we know how this is being allocated, I think it would be unfair for me to ask anything specific, because it sounds like we don't have a lot of details yet. But, for example, how many principals were actually eligible? So you
I can
don't,
tell you that,
great.
if you'd like.
And so, like I
9
said,
principals out of
25.
the 25, yes, sir, are eligible. And that is mainly because of the 4-year time span at their school.
and then you mentioned there was an application process of which folks will have to prove that they met a certain criteria. And
Yes,
so
sir.
again, moving forward, should this program exist, it'd be really neat if we could identify these folks early on in the process so we know exactly who they would be based on.
Right, and that's the reason we have to, the only part of the program that has to do the application is that recruitment, because we don't necessarily have the work experience in a readily accessible way to get it. So those are certain things, like with the retention, we were able to pull reports, so they do not need to apply for those, because I could cross-reference last year's reports, this year's reports, and their scores, highly effective or effective. So we were able to do that without an application, but the recruitment, we just really couldn't think of a way. And I talked to some neighboring districts, specifically Brevard County, and they're doing the same method with putting it out there and then having the teachers, those Category 1 teachers,
Right.
apply.
Great. Another thing, and we could seek a consensus, but I'd like to know if we run out of money and we shortchange anybody. Again, the money only goes so far, but, what's so far, and so I know you don't have the answer to that question
No,
yet.
sir, I don't. However, with having worked on this for several weeks now, the 5.9 million is a fairly generous amount. The only one that I'm really concerned about is the recognition, because that will be not just those 25 schools. The recruitment and recognition funds, any of the schools and teachers in any of our schools are eligible for that. That's paraprofessionals as well. So that one is the one that the leftover money is divided among those people. So it's just going to depend on how many there are as to how much they're going to get. So that could end up being a fairly small award amount. The first three, there is no doubt that we will have money to cover those.
Okay.
But the recognition is going to, the amount that they get will dwindle fairly quickly.
Very good. Again, if we could find a proactive way of sort of budgeting accordingly. I mean, again, I realize the state drops this on us and we go from there, but I would hate to see anybody not be recognized for the work that they do.
Yes, sir. I agree. I think everyone will be recognized in some way, shape, or form. It's just a matter of how much.
Gotcha.
Yeah, when we
Thank
get to
you.
the end of the,
Yeah.
the end of
Into
the
the
bank
pot.
there.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Carpenter, do you have a question?
I have a
Okay.
question. Are these just for teachers without tenure or all educators?
All educators.
All educators, so
Yes.
tenured, non-tenured?
Yes.
Okay. I
That
just
is
wanted to
correct.
make sure, so
Yes, ma'am.
anyone can
Yes, ma'am.
apply. And I just want to put a plug in for media specialists, because they have to have a teaching certificate.
Yes.
They have to
Believe
have the
me.
education. They still
And
teach.
as Mr. Egner said, I think we're absolutely all in agreement that it's heartbreaking that our guidance counselors, our media specialists, our pre-K teachers, I mean, those foundational skills in pre-K are so very important. And they do lesson plans, they have rosters, but they too are not eligible for, the retention award.
Because 5.9 million is almost a 2% raise.
Yes.
What we
I
could do with
understand,
that,
believe
yeah.
me,
No,
I
thank you.
am right there with you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we thank you for that. And again, this program did not come from the Volusia County School Board. It came
No, it
from
did not. It
the
came from the
State
state.
Nor
Department.
did it
I'm
come
sorry,
from me.
Kim,
Hey, Kim,
Kimberly, hang on a
hang on
second.
I'm
We have
sorry.
another
Hang on
question.
just a
I'm
minute.
sorry. Miss Wright, I believe.
Yes,
Yes.
I think we've had some questions
Oh,
on this
okay,
side.
okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Miss Wright and Miss Haynes, I'm
I
sorry.
lost my
The
glasses.
25 schools, have they been notified?
No, ma'am, they have not. Well, I take that back. They have not been notified by me. As, Mr. Egner stated, I've kind of stepped into helping out with some other areas, and I have not directly notified those schools, no.
Will you be able to provide us with the list of the
I
schools?
certainly can.
That's my only question.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. I will be
Miss-
happy to send those out first thing in the morning.
Miss Haynes.
Yes, that was.
So they've already asked almost everything that I had listed, but the final thing would be, when this is all said and done, as Mr. Cologne stated, I'd like a list of who was awarded under each category.
Okay.
And the amount that they were awarded, so that we just kind of see where it happened. And I also wanted to see who are the 25 schools, because
Okay, no
that-
problem.
That part is very prescriptive, and the fact that there's
Yes.
only 9 principals already eligible, and you
Right.
know that, could we go ahead now and know who the 9 principals are also?
I'm fine with that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I would like to congratulate the following principals who are eligible for the Best and Brightest Principal Award. That would be Tracy Buckner at Coronado Beach Elementary, Carolyn Carbonell at Deltona High School, Romanita Ortiz at Deltona Lakes Elementary School, Miss Carrie Cervenak, who I believe is here. Congratulations. Carrie Cervenak, Indian River Elementary School. Judith Watson, Longstreet Elementary School. Chantel Adkins, Ortona Elementary School. Kimberly Hutcherson, Pearson Elementary. Joe Rawlings, Seabreeze High School. and Dr. Mary Ellen Spidell, Sugar Mill Elementary School.
Congratulations.
Yay.
Would you like me to go ahead and tell you the rest of the schools since we're halfway there?
Sure.
Okay, let's
Go
do
ahead.
it.
Why
Let's
not?
do it. Okay, Atlantic High School, Blue Lake Elementary School, Coronado, Deltona High School, Deltona Lakes Elementary, Enterprise Elementary, Forest Lake, Freedom, George Marks, Hinson Middle School, Indian River Elementary, Longstreet, New Smyrna Beach High School, Ortona Elementary, let's see, Pathways, Pearson, Port Orange Elementary, Seabreeze High School, Silver Sands Middle School, Spruce Creek Elementary, Sugar Mill, Sunrise, and Terry T. Small.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ms. Haynes. Kim, any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you, Kim.
All right, we are just about at that 6:30 time, so let's go ahead and if we have any public. Great, thank you. Ms. Albert. We have a handout?
I do. Well,
Just
just
like-
for the
just
board
like
members,
teaching.
Connie. Connie only have, yes, Mr. Egner, I'll bring you yours on Thursday. Sorry.
No worries.
No,
So
it's
good evening, Chairman Persis,
Good
members
evening.
of the board, Mr. Egner, and members of the audience. You know, these last two board meetings, things are just lining up for me like nobody's business. This is beautiful.
Lining up.
So we just had the best and brightest conversation, and I am offering an opportunity for us to pair, to partner, and to do some very good work around advocating for appropriate funding for public schools. What you have in front of you is an invitation to a community conversation that we will be hosting on Wednesday, November the 20th at Mainland High School. We have reserved the multipurpose room from 6:30 to 7:30 for the purpose of bringing all stakeholders together to talk about what has happened to public school funding. We know that thanks to the wonderful folks in Tallahassee, that we have lived through over a decade of neglect as it comes to prioritizing the allocation of funds for public schools. We in Volusia County are on the how do I want to phrase this appropriately? We receive less for what we send up there, and I believe it was just a few meetings ago where Ms. Mueller so eloquently pointed out that we have lost over $160 million over the course of the last decade. That cannot continue. It is time for us to stand up, to join together. This is a mutually beneficial opportunity that we all have. When we advocate for increased funding, you win, we win, teachers win, support staff wins, and ultimately the kids win, which is the most important part of all of this. So, you know, it's time for us to be united in this. We're reaching out to community members as well. Members of the faith community have shown and indicated that they'll come. The Chamber of Commerce has actually indicated that they want to do this work. You know, they've spent a lot of time. Jim Cameron comes here and he talks about the DCD. And so it's time to get it together.
You did
And
that
it's-
very
and I
well.
love him
Was
so.
that was-
But
that
you know
was
what? When
very-
the chamber recognizes as well that this has to stop, this is the clarions call. And so I'm publicly and exuberantly inviting you to be there on the 20th. The event will be a 10-minute or so history lesson in what's happened to us over the course of time, and then what we can do to change the future for our kids. We will be doing a question and answer scenario, and the folks from FEA are going to come down. They've rented a big bus. You've probably seen it on the internet, and it's like a campaign-style rally. So I am asking you tonight, please, please, please join with us to move from 47 cents to $75 to let's shoot for $500 in the BSA. How about that, right?
I like that.
Okay, so please be there.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
good. Thank you, Ms. Albert. Well done. Well done. Need to all be out there. All right, we are, that is the final public. Okay, so we're going to move on then, Mr. Superintendent. This is always the exciting part of the evening when we have administrative appointments. And I guess, Kimberly, you're coming back, huh? So, okay, well, great.
And just a comment, we had as you know from previous notification, we've had a number of kind of surprise changes that have taken place. And I would like to thank everybody for being so flexible in what they've done this late in the school year to make changes. And I'd also like to thank the area superintendents who've worked so hard to coordinate this. If you're here tonight, could you stand up, please, area superintendents, Patty?
Area superintendents.
I don't think they've ever spoken to so many people so fast in such a short amount of time to make this possible so that there would be a very smooth transition at the various schools and no chance that students would be negatively impacted by personnel departures.
Yeah, excellent. All right,
Okay.
so you
Let
have the floor.
fun begin. Again, Kimberly McKinney, recruitment and retention coordinator, HR. Good evening, Chairman Persis, school board members, and Superintendent Egner. I am delighted to present the following superintendent's recommendation for administrative appointments. Assistant principal and principal intern transfers. At this time, I would like to present the superintendent's recommendation for assistant principal and principal intern transfers. Michelle Brown from assistant principal at Edgewater Public Elementary School to assistant principal at Sunrise Elementary School. Jennifer Holmgreen from principal intern at Indian River Elementary School to principal intern at Edgewater Public School.
Hey, Jennifer.
Mr. Egner, do you want to approve those?
The superintendent recommends approval.
Thank you. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. And a second by Ms. Cuthbert. That was a motion from Ms. Wright, second by Ms. Cuthbert. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. And those opposed, and the motion carries unanimously. Yay. So you don't have to travel far from Indian River to Edgewater, but anyway, thank you for doing that and helping out our district, Mr. Superintendent.
Assistant principal appointment?
Yes, assistant principal appointment, Jennifer Gonzalo from teacher on assignment at Exceptional Student Education to assistant principal at Indian River Elementary School.
Hey.
Superintendent recommends approval of the appointment.
Thank you. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Clone.
Second.
Second from Ms. Wright. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, and the motion carries unanimously. Yay.
Okay, principal transfer. I would like to present the superintendent's recommendation for principal transfer. Cameron Robinson from Turry T. Small Elementary School to principal at Campbell Middle School.
And Cameron is at a conference today, so he's not able to be here tonight.
Does
but,
he know about it, though?
He
I
does
mean,
know about it.
Okay,
He does know about it.
'cause that-
and he
that
was
happened to me one time.
enthusiastic about the opportunity. It's a place he's wanted to go for a few years now, and so he's finally getting his chance. So I recommend approval of the appointment.
All right, and thank you, and that was a motion from Ms. Wright and a second from Mr. Cologne. Any comments, questions?
And-
Ms. Wright, is that a question hand?
No, I'm gonna make a comment at the end.
Oh, okay, all right.
And so I want to
Yes,
thank
Mr.
Mr.
Cologne.
Cameron for helping us out. And I know this was a desired change, but it's also a change for him. And I know his family at Turry T is going to miss him. So again, thank you.
Yep, I'm sure that is true.
We can do a drum roll now for a principal appointment.
All right, well, let's vote on this one to approve it. And we had a motion, we had a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, and so, all right. Cameron, you are at Campbell Middle School. All right, and the next one.
All right, I am delighted to share the following superintendent's recommendation for principal appointment. Dr. Melanie Johnson, principal intern at Tomoka Elementary School, to the position of principal of Turry T. Small Elementary School. Dr. Johnson began her career with Volusia County Schools in 2002. She has served in the position of principal intern, assistant principal, reading coach, academic coach, media specialist, and teacher. Dr. Johnson received her doctorate and master's degrees from Nova Southeastern University and her bachelor's degree from the University of Florida. Her certifications are in the areas of educational leadership, media specialist, elementary education, reading, exceptional student education, and English for speakers of other languages. Dr. Johnson, if you would join me, please.
Hey.
Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Johnson. So nice to see you here.
Yes,
I
it's
usually
nice to be
see
here.
you at Tomoka Elementary
That's
School.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you, School Board Chair, Mr. Carl Persis, esteemed members of the school board, Superintendent Egnor, colleagues, family, and friends. Principalship is an incredibly humbling recognition for which I am very grateful. I never imagined that I would someday be asked to lead the very school in which my educational career began. I began my career with Volusia County Schools in 2002 as a Turry T. Small third grade teacher. After teaching third grade for 3 years, the legend, Mrs. Betty Powers, mentored me into a reading coach position in which I spent 9 years teaming up with some of the best staff and faculty in Volusia County. A host of exceptional leaders of Volusia County Schools have mentored me throughout my career, and I would like to recognize them for demonstrating what it means to be Volusia strong. Mrs. Betty Powers, Dr. Earl Johnson, Dr. Paul Narig, Dr. Mary Ellen Spidell, Mrs. Susan Tootin, and Dr. Julie Roseboom. In a nutshell, their tutelage has encouraged me to live by this mantra: there are no problems, only opportunities. And I'm excited about the opportunities and challenges that lie ahead. American philosopher Cornel West said, "You have to love the people to lead the people." I approach this position with love. Love for our students, love for our staff, and for our community. 1 Corinthians 13 reminds us that you can't go wrong with patience, trust, hope, perseverance, and love. To my loving husband, children, family, and friends, I hope this day makes you proud as well. I thank you for your support and love. To the students, faculty, staff, families, and community of Turry T. Small Elementary, I am very excited at the prospect of coming to Turry T. Small Elementary to serve as the next principal. My promise is that I will work side by side with you every day and allow my actions to tell the story of who I am and of my commitment to our school. I will ask lots of questions and listen intently to your responses. I'm here to support you in the continued success of our school and join in the celebration of those successes. We are, all of us, entering into a new compact. We will have our ups and downs, but together we will lead our school forward. We will be the caregivers who put the interests of our children first. The students of TT Small deserve no less. I am looking forward to getting to know each and every one of you. Thank you to the leadership of Volusia County Schools for your support and confidence in me. There is one last thing that I promise to be, and that is Dr. Melanie Johnson, the next principal at Turry T. Small Elementary. Go Bulldogs!
That was beautiful. Beautiful. And I know that comes right from your heart. I know that. because I know you, and I know just who you are. And the only person that is sad right now is Dr. Rosebud. But I know she's very proud too, right, Julie? Yeah, I know she is. Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah, she's clearly awesome, and what a good fit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just amazing.
I have to say, when I called to congratulate her, she was still just so elated that I felt like if this isn't the best pick we could have possibly made, I don't know what would be. And I'm absolutely confident she'll take Terry T to the next level. And the good news is, if you do have to ask, Cameron's just around the corner.
That's just amazing. Is your family, anybody here from your family? Would you all, well.
That's my mom.
Now, who would that be, that young lady there that stood up there? Who was that?
That's my mother, Chloe Miller.
Really?
That's my birth mom. My husband, Lyndon Johnson, is here. My two little children, Lawrence and Maya Roll.
Stand up so we can see you. Yeah, you're very proud of your mom.
My mother-in-law, Mary Johnson. The lovely Dr. Julie Roseboom, and my brother-in-law, Dr. Earl Johnson, Jr.
Hey! My, this is just so much fun, isn't it? Yeah, let's enjoy it. Yeah, just enjoy this time. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, we had a recommendation. We didn't have a motion yet or anything, did we?
No,
So,
we haven't done anything.
so let's
Yeah,
go ahead and
Superintendent
do
recommends
that.
approval of the
Get all carried away.
administrative appointment.
Yes. Thank you. We've heard the recommendation.
So moved.
Thank you, Miss Wright. Miss Wright got it first. All right.
Okay, I'm
Miss Wright
seconding it.
Okay, you're seconding it. All right. Any other comments? Oh, yes, Miss Wright.
So now I want to make a
Now
Yes, go ahead.
This is a bittersweet moment. For those who don't know, that Dr. Jerry Pikett officially last day is Friday, which grieves my heart. But I am certain that both you and Cameron Robinson will do a great job.
Yeah, I know they will.
At those schools. We're counting on you.
Thank you.
Miss Haynes.
I've known you since you were a third grade teacher and got to work with you as a coach and watched you grow. And when Mr. Egner called me, my heart was so happy because Terry T is your school. And you, along with learning under Miss Powers, just like we all did, have a true love for that community. And I am so thankful to see you returning there because I feel that that is your calling. And I want you to know that I support you 100%.
Thank you.
And I look forward to visiting.
Thank you. Thank you all.
And you know you can always call your brother-in-law.
Don't you hide over there. Okay, Miss Cuthbert.
Well, any friend of Earl Johnson's is a friend of mine. Just want to let you know. So congratulations. I envy all the hugs
Thank you.
you're going to get. When will be your first day? Do you know?
I believe my first day will be Monday.
Okay, it's going to be a tough week saying goodbye, I'm sure. So I wish you well.
Thank you.
And I think all of us are just thrilled with your appointment. For every challenge, there's always a silver lining, and you've got a rainbow ahead of you. Just not a silver lining, there's a whole rainbow over your head right now.
Thank
So
you.
congratulations, and many congratulations to your mom.
Yes. Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so did we vote in it or not on this thing? We still haven't voted. You know, I just want to make sure we do this right here. We have to make sure that we have to approve you officially, right? All right, so we had a motion, we had a second, we've had comments. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. And those opposed, and the motion carries unanimously. Yes.
Thank you.
And we're going to take another 3-minute recess to get a photo. That was gonna work out better. So did we ever find that?
Is it break time?
What's this? A break?
No, we're not on break. No. All right, we're going to reconvene our meeting, and we are now on item 19.01. This is student discipline regarding attendance, followed by student discipline regarding transportation. And our presenter will be Craig Pender.
All right. Good evening, Chairman Persis, school board members, and Mr. Egner. Today we have two requests concerning student discipline. For the first request, a recommendation is made to the superintendent that he requests the board extend the suspension on students Alpha ID 1WTIG, 1WPOJ, 1PMTL, 1RZNK, 1RPBP, and 2AKCR, and 1UHKY from school attendance through November 12, 2019 for the purpose of further study and evaluation.
Thank you, Mr. Pender. Mr. Superintendent?
The superintendent recommends the board extend the suspensions of students Alpha ID 1WTIG, 1WPOJ, 1PMTL, 1RZNK, 1RPBP, 2AKCR, and 1UHKY from school attendance through November 12, 2019 for the purpose of further study and evaluation.
Thank you. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Cologne. And a second?
Second.
By Ms. Haynes. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. And those opposed? And the motion carries. Mr. Pender?
All right, for the second request, a recommendation is made to the superintendent that he requests the board extend the suspension on students Alpha ID 1QMUX, 1RSZP, 1TNTX, and 1SHAS from school-sponsored transportation through November 12, 2019 for the purpose of further study and evaluation.
Thank you. Mr. Superintendent?
The superintendent recommends the board extend the suspensions of students Alpha ID 1QMUX, 1RSZP, 1TNTX, and 1SHAS from school-sponsored transportation through November 12, 2019 for the purpose of further study and evaluation.
Thank you. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Cologne. And a second by Ms. Cuthbert. Any questions? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. And those opposed? And the motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Pender.
Thank you.
At this time, I need to recess the school board meeting. And at this time, I need to convene the Volusia County School Board Leasing Corporation meeting. And we have one item before us, and that is to elect our secretary to the Volusia County School Board's Leasing Corporation. And I need someone to make a motion, please.
I make a motion that we appoint or determine Mr. Egner to be the secretary of the School Board Leasing Corporation of Volusia County.
Well done there, Mr. Cologne. And a second?
Second it.
By Ms.
Had to
Haynes.
think about it.
And is there any discussion? I don't see any. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and those opposed. And congratulations, Mr. Egner.
I don't get to decline the nomination?
No, you do not. You are
Okay, I
the
guess
secretary
I'll do
to the Volusia County School Board Leasing Corporation. All right, at this time, I'm going to adjourn the Volusia County School Board Leasing Corporation meeting, and we're going to reconvene the school board meeting. All right, our next item is item 21.02. This is a board action item, acceptance of an easement deed, and our presenter, I believe, will be Sarah Lee Morrissey. And do I have any public cards on this item? Okay. Hi, Mr. Schwartz.
Hello.
Well, it's so nice to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're one of the 25 schools, by the way.
Oh,
Just want to point that out.
I
missed it by a year, but that's okay. I'll take that. Sorry.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Mr. Egner. I have Mr. Schwartz with me because this is actually, I invited him to attend. This is something that we, the school and the district, have been working on for several months, actually more than several months,
More
since
than
the beginning of the summer. We, the district, had a project that we did this summer. We expanded the parent loop, added an exit lane. As a result of adding that exit lane, we needed to move the school sign. Pathways is about 20 years old, and it's just a basic ground monument with a little bit of a marquee. And the school wanted to move the sign to the front of the school, and the PTA stepped forward, indicating that they would fund an LED electronic sign, which, as you know, we're trying to move forward in that direction with our schools. The issue was in front of the school is a right-of-way easement. It is actually not owned by the school board, and which is the reason why the original sign wasn't there. So in pursuing the location of the sign as well as the type of sign with the city of Ormond, we found out that in fact this right-of-way easement was now privately owned and is privately owned by Hunters Ridge Residential Golf Properties, which is the developer of Hunters Ridge. This school was not part of Hunters Ridge. This school property came to the board from Breakaway Trails. So we have spent quite a few months working with Hunters Ridge Residential Golf Properties, trying to obtain either an easement for a sign or outright acquisition of the property in question. And we now have reached an agreement for a sign easement for the price of $7,000. And so before you tonight is the request to accept an easement deed from Hunters Ridge Residential Golf Properties in order to place a sign in front.
Long time. It seems, the littlest things, just want to put a sign up, and then we find out that the property that looks like our property, or at the very least looks like it belonged to the city, didn't belong to either one, and I'm looking at that yellow line. Is that is that the section in front of the school, or do they own that whole strip along Airport Road?
They own the strip that is on the screen that is outlined in yellow.
Okay.
And it is a right-of-way easement, but it's a pretty complicated, convoluted process how everything happened, such that the property is in private hands by Hunters Ridge developer. and the developer is in California. So that complicated some of the conversation and negotiation for this.
Great. And who's going to pay for the sign?
Our PTA has already donated the money because we before knowing that the way we didn't own that land or didn't have access, they had decided last year to donate the money to the school because we had already worked out with, prior to knowing that we didn't own the property, we had worked out a deal with the sign company and had looked at it. And so the PTA wanted to move forward and put money towards it because they had to put it towards it before the end of their calendar year, which was June 30th or June 31st. So they had already donated the money to the school for the purchase of the sign.
Purchase of the sign. And then does the school district help with the electrical?
We are going to help. So the school is holding the money because until and unless we're able to work something out with this property owner, there isn't a sign in front of the school, and whether or not the PTA would want to expend the monies for this type of sign, that would definitely change visibility. So yes, moving the sign, originally the project that I mentioned to you, the district had planned just to move the simple sign that's there to a location, which would have been relatively close by, but we were still going to pay to move it. So as all this has transpired, we have agreed that we would work with the school. We'll extend the electric, and that's part of what does make these signs costly. We've found a way to do these signs now without, on a cellular communication rather than ground fiber, so that has helped bring the cost down as well.
Cool.
So this is going to be a joint project.
Nice. There may be some questions, or Ms. Cuthbert.
Just clarification, the 7,000 is a one-time easement
Yes.
payment. Is there any way that Hunters Ridge can come back and say, we want to renege on this or want to take it back? Because that's a long swath. Who knows what they're going to think about putting in there?
Well, that swath is encumbered by plenty of utilities and the actual language associated with a right-of-way easement. This is what I call a nuisance value. We actually asked for a donation because we thought for a school.
Yeah.
It would be nice.
Well, we tried.
We tried. It's a challenging landowner, that is all I'm going to say. Once we move forward and we record the deed, then there cannot be any reneging.
Okay, then I do have a request.
And we certainly wouldn't pay before we had the deed in our hand and we're going to record.
Sure, thank you.
That
Yes,
when you-
Ms. Cuthbert.
Yeah, that when you do have it in, that we have a picture and we can put it up so we can see the result. I'd love to see the result.
Absolutely. Actually, I talked to our PTA the other day, and they said, well, if or when, because it's been a long process, they would love to do some type of ribbon cutting ceremony or something, and invite all of you, of course.
Yeah, be nice.
And I'd like to say thank you to Sarah Lee. She's been doing a lot of the legwork. She does a lot of stuff in the background. I know you guys know that, but I didn't realize how difficult this would be, this little bitty project ended up being. So thank you, Sarah Lee, for helping.
None of us did. I
I'm
believe.
saving that one email where you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was friendly, not yours.
If you remember, Sarah Lee, you remember at first, Greg, we thought it was going to be the city that was going to object to having the LED sign on Airport Road, and oh gosh, we're going to have to fight City Hall. And
the city was fine.
They were
fine.
Fine, you want to do it.
The city, the year before, had moved the crosswalk. So if you look at the corner of where that loop is, it would be the very left side of your screen. They moved the crosswalk because my first year at Pathways, we had a student hit, and we actually added a crossing guard, and they moved the crosswalk. And so the sign would be where that new crosswalk area is, close to where the parent loop is, but be able to be visible from the road on Airport Road, because we do have parents that come in to the other loop. Most of them come to the parent loop, but a lot of them come to the main office. And right now, you can't see the sign through that vegetation and trees, and there's a lot of actually a lot of trees that are dying at this point that need to be removed, but they're not on our property.
Yeah, thank
And we'll do some clearing.
Mr. Cologne, did you have a comment, a question? No?
I have
Okay.
nothing.
Ms. Wright, Ms. Haynes, Mr. Superintendent?
The superintendent recommends acceptance of an easement deed from Hunters Ridge Residential Golf Properties to allow for a Pathways Elementary School sign to be located adjacent to and along Airport Road for $7,000.
Thank you. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I move that we have approval for the easement.
Okay, thank you. In a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Wright. Further discussion. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. And those opposed, and the motion carries unanimously.
Thank
Go
you
get
very
your
much.
sign. Go get
Thank
your
you very
sign.
much.
Greg, thanks for being here.
Yes,
And
it is
actually,
camo day. They say best for last.
we were working that. And actually, I don't think anyone knows how hard Sarah Lee works, so thank you for
Oh, I do.
acknowledging that.
Yay, 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 yay.
And could I give one more shout out to my amazing PTA? I mean, they're the ones who, they've been pushing this, and they really would like to do this for the school and for the community.
That's
So-
amazing.
So thank you guys again.
Were you one of those 25 schools?
We were one of the 25.
okay.
That's Patriot Paradise. Woo!
Oh, my goodness. Okay, we are now right near the end, ladies and gentlemen. 22.01. Is there any member from the public that'd like to address the board? I want to thank Ms. Albert for the information you presented to us. Can't put my hands on it, but anyway, thank you for that. And I'm just assuming this is going to be like a statewide thing too, I hope. Good, okay. All right, great. Then we'll go to items from the board and the superintendent and our attorney. So Mr. Doran, anything from you this evening? Everything good? All right, and Mr. Superintendent?
No items.
Okay, Ms. Wright? Yes.
I do.
Go.
So, as I stated earlier, about Dr. Pikett leaving, when we select a new superintendent, we really do have some issues and concerns we need to address. And talking to him, I heard his heart and his passion. And there's some things in this district we just have to address. I saw Dr. Johnson today. Dr. Johnson was here, and he left, and he's doing wonderful. I mean, he's the deputy superintendent up in Flagler. There are just some things that we can no longer sweep under the rug that we will have to address. I don't mind fighting with a lot of people. I don't care what people say about me on social media. I don't care. I don't care what people say about me in the public. But I do care what happens with my colleagues. And the only thing I'm going to ask my colleagues, if something is going on in my district, rather than you all trying to fix it, be kind enough to send it to me. I never get involved in any of your districts or any of your schools. I always direct people to you. Or I call you myself and say, is it an issue? Do that, because I've had 2 incidents to happen in my district that other board members interfered. And I really would appreciate, we just gotta have some collegiality, and we gotta have respect for one another. So I'm just asking, if there's an issue, send it to me. I'll be more happy to talk to Mr. Egner. I'll get in touch with one of the area soups. But sometimes I'm blindsided because they've talked to one of you, and by the time I'm involved, or I have to call Mr. Egner, or I have to call one of the area superintendents, it's really blown up to, I don't know what's going on. So I'm just asking, if nobody else is cohesive, let us be cohesive and just have some, and normally you do. And sometimes it's because it's our friends that we work with, and we have relationships that we get involved. I'm just asking, don't do that. Send them to me and let us just follow the proper protocol. That's it.
Yeah, no, very well said. And just along that same line, if I may, sometimes we get emails and they go to him and they go to all of us, or they'll go to all of us and maybe not him, and so you kind of wonder, should I respond? Should you do? So I've tried to respond only because I'm the chair, and when I do, I try to do it quickly and copy you so you know that I did respond, so you won't feel like, oh, I need to. And then I always copy you so that you know about it and no one gets blindsided. But sometimes it doesn't work out because I didn't respond fast enough, and maybe somebody else did, and then it gets a little complicated. But it's not because anyone's doing anything wrong. Everyone's trying to do the right thing, But I just wanted to comment on that too. If you all, if that happens in the future, I mean, I'm only the chair here another month or something, but whatever it is, if it does come, then I'll try to get a response out very, very quickly, and then copy you guys, and we'll kind of go from there if that all works. But I understand what you're saying, and you said it very, very well. Yes, Mr.
Because you mentioned that, I would like to bring this up as well. And I think, by the way, I think this is done innocently, so this is not a criticism of anyone. But I would like to again request that if you get one of those communications and you need staff to do something, like respond for you or gather information or something, please send that to me for me to direct it to staff, because I have asked them to please not respond directly. You know, if someone other than me or the areas who are their supervisors give them an assignment, to please send that back to me for review, and maybe I'll call you and discuss with you what it is you need to know and why you need to know it, because it's confusing to them as to who the line of authority is, and I would prefer that they get missions from their supervisors as opposed to separate board members. Now, that does not include you have a general question about something. You ask anybody anything you want as a general question. But if you're asking them to respond to the public, I would very much like to make sure that flowed through me so I know what was going to happen and can ask them to carry out the mission in a way that is consistent with our protocol.
Okay, great. And I just want
And by the way, that's not so much for me. That's for the next superintendent.
Yeah, yeah. And I just want to clarify, because I'm probably guilty on this one. So if I get
Not
something.
guilty, it's
well, you know what I'm
innocent.
saying. If I get an email from a parent of a student, say at one of my schools, and Miss Freeman is the area, and I know that, sometimes I've sent it to her.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
so-
fine. She's
so
one of
that's
the.
okay?
That
Okay.
is absolutely
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
And they will make sure that I'm informed. I'm thinking more about when you give staff an assignment.
Oh, no.
And or ask them to respond to somebody. I think it's important that flow through me, or as I said, the area superintendents
And that,
who are their supervisors.
does that include Rachel too?
No, she's not an area superintendent. Things that go to her should go through me.
Okay,
please.
so I think I did send something to
I'm not
Rachel the
trying to
other
punish
day.
people
No,
here.
no, but I'm just trying to get it right. That's all.
And I get
That's
it. I
all.
don't take it like that,
No.
because I'm guilty of sending it to
Yeah,
someone else
yeah,
too.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just saying, and I'm gonna use some incidents even with Mainland. I was called, I just wouldn't respond. I sent them to Carl. I said,
Yeah.
hey, Carl, you are our spokesperson.
Yeah.
And I just want us to just, it protects us, and I'll let Ted know. We need to sometimes have one voice.
Yeah.
That's all.
Also, I fully understand you, as elected officials, want to be completely responsive to your constituents, and so you want very quick answers, and so you don't want to wait or go through a process. Sometimes we just can't answer in 5 minutes. I mean, some of these questions are more complicated than they appear on the surface. There's often background information. There's often meetings and conferences that have taken place. And if we aren't careful about that, sometimes people just have to wait 24 hours. You know, that's, we prefer to answer as quickly as possible, but that's a safer protocol, and it avoids mistakes and misunderstandings. And again, this isn't about me. I have very thick skin. I'm thinking of the next superintendent and how undoubtedly they'd want to operate.
Yeah, it's good. It's good that you brought it up. Yeah, Ted, yeah.
Well, just while we're on the topic,
Yeah.
And I know Mr. Igner knows this, but he just used a sentence that I want to make sure we clarify. He made the statement that when you, meaning board members, give someone an assignment, and I know he didn't mean it the way it might be interpreted, no board member legally can give anybody an assignment, period. So I know you all know that, but I also know people are listening. I also want to always, good to have a refresher.
Yeah.
No board member controls, employs, hires, fires, directs anybody in this district except two people, Mr. Egner and me. That's it. And everything goes through the superintendent. And, you know, to the degree that board members have access to employees, and Mr. Egner's policy, he just made clear, if you have general questions, those kind of things, that's based on his good graces from board members. And, you know, and we've always worked together, and I'm not suggesting anybody would ever do it any differently, but I just want to make sure from a legal standpoint, we all understand what our roles are, what our authority is, that type of thing.
Yeah, no.
And I want to thank you for saying that, because I really don't believe the public understand that we are policymakers. They really
Yes.
do think that we should be running the schools, telling people what to do. Oh, you don't have time, you need, no, that's not my job.
Yeah.
If you sit on the board, you're a policymaker, and no one should be out of school every day making demands and commands. And so I do believe that there is a misperception of what our roles are in some of the public.
Yeah. I mean, I've said many times, 85% of what you do is in one vote that occurs sometimes once a decade, and that's hiring and firing a superintendent. The rest of it is policy setting, and after that, it's, you know, I mean, you play a very important role in terms of providing direction and, you know, being a liaison to the community and the public, and, you know, providing, as I say, direction to the superintendent, because, you know, you are the representative of the people, but in the end, there's only one person on the planet in Volusia County when it comes to education that has the power to operate the district.
Yeah. Good. It's good that we brought talking about this. Yeah, Ms. Cuthbert.
We have responsibility to our constituents. We are voted by the people in our district, by a majority in our district. That's who we're responsible to. And that's why it's not a county-wide election, it's a district-wide election, because those people know us the most. And I know Mrs. Wright has referred people to me a couple of times who live in South Daytona, however, are going to one of my schools, and I've referred to her as well. None of us should usurp any of our jurisdiction, and the public shouldn't do it as well. We have a responsibility for our staff, our parents, our students, most importantly our students, who look to us for guidance, for reference, for help, and there's just so much we can do, but we will do as much as we can. But if we ourselves, we five, do not know what's happening in our district, there's nothing we can handle it. And when someone else comes in and says, I want to take care of this in your district, we have a problem. And it weakens us. And it takes the power of the vote away from the elected board member. And that's for everyone. And we visit each other's schools, we celebrate. I can't wait to see that new sign at Pathways. But still, we all talk about our schools and our kids. And there is a fine line. We are Volusia County School Board members, because ultimately we represent, just like the county council, we're the only other entity that is Volusia County. We have the largest budget, we have the largest responsibility, we have the largest staff, but ultimately we do ask our committees, we ask our PTAs and business partners, our local people, to help us in guiding our students to the best successful student achievement and learning environment that we can provide. That's why we as a board, when it came to the point where the state said we could only spend so much per per student station, so many thousands of dollars, we were going to be short $3,000–4,000 when we build an elementary school. We as a board said, we're not going to adhere to that. We want to build schools according to what is best for our kids and our communities. So we've made those decisions because it's best for our kids as a county. But when it comes to our districts are ours. So I agree with Mrs. Wright wholeheartedly. We have to be aware of what's happening in our own districts. And that includes security, safety, employment, what's happening on campuses. If somebody's unhappy, someone wants to transfer, whatever it may be, it could be curriculum, it could be student attendance, but still, it's something that we all need to ask, just like what happened. I talked to you about parents coming to a middle school too early and not realizing it's compulsory education. K through 12 is compulsory education. And parents cannot shop, that they cannot choose to only send their students, their children, a certain amount of time to our schools. So it's important that we all talk to one another. Of course, we have to obey the Sunshine Law, which is why we have Mr. Doran, which is why I referred to him, that request we had from the Miami-Dade. Was it Miami-Dade?
Yes.
Gentleman from Miami-Dade, because I knew he could talk to the rest of us and investigate it on our own. So I thank all of you in advance for your cooperation, and happy Halloween, everybody.
All right, any other comments from anybody? So if not, then this meeting is adjourned. No.